mid-November last year, we delivered the 16th production C-17 to the Air Force. It was the 11th transport to join the 437 Airlift Wing at Charleston Air Force Base, South Carolina. Even more noteworthy, it was the 4th C-17 delivered ahead of schedule by over a month. To learn the reasons for the remarkable improvement in C-17 deliveries, 90 Days visited Long Beach just as P-16 was undergoing final customer inspections. And as you'll see, P-16's delivery was a proud event for MDC and Vought aircraft employees who went along for the flight.
Why don't you give me the book and I'll start pulling out the white. There you go. Look on this one over here.
If you didn't know what we were doing, it would look very frantic. People running in and out of the airplane, and in fact, it's quite a choreograph here. We start from the day that the government flight representative comes from the aircraft and he's done his flight acceptance and says, I accept this airplane. That doesn't mean that there are any squawks on it. The squawks that are acceptable for him, he doesn't have to fly the aircraft again. It's finished its flight tests. At that point, then, the production folks go in and clean up the aircraft and clean up all the squawks remaining. When they're finished with that, the government flight representative comes back and he looks at those and any problems.
The type of things that we're looking at this point is that the rails don't align properly or that maybe the door has a malfunction, and we're just verifying that it is fine-tuned and properly functioning. As far as the outside of the aircraft, any type of leaks or mismatches or that type of thing, we've done some fine-tuning, the adjustments, or corrected the deficiencies. And they're just verifying again that they are correct.
After our production folks said this airplane is not only ready functionally, but it's ready in appearance, cosmetically, we then turned it over to the D-Pro.
For the left-hand fuselage, I've got Paul Agner.
And there you are.
Their inspectors come out, very much like you would find a customer in an airline, and they go over this thing with a fine-tooth comb. They may come out with 100 write-ups or so, very minor, and after that, we clean those up. And when we're finished, we deliver a customer an aircraft that has been accepted and it's been inspected very many times and it has 0 defects. And what's happened is that slowly but surely, in certain cases dramatically, the quality of the aircraft coming from the plant or the factory rolling out to the ramp has improved a great deal. Between P-10 and P-11, there was resolve not to let the aircraft pass a particular point until the quality was up to speed and that it was 100% of what it was supposed to be when it went out the door. Heretofore, due to schedule, we were passing things on that shouldn't be. And once that resolve set in, the results were dramatic. And so I think that will, to sacrifice schedule for quality, to sacrifice what appeared to be schedule for completeness, really was the kicker here. And it worked.
Well, the real answer to why we have better deliveries in 1994 than we did in 1993 goes back into 1993 when we were able to put a more realistic schedule together, which we did. Key with regard to reaching that schedule was to complete the aircraft as much as we could prior to the move of the sections to major join and to hold the major join date. The aircraft are typically going to major join 97 to 98% complete. In terms of the major join activity on P-16, we did that in about 30 days. Prior to that, it was taking 40, 45 days. And then beyond that, we made some policy decisions earlier in the year with regard to making sure that we delivered an aircraft clean to ramp, and that entailed moving the major aircraft inspection, or MAI, earlier and earlier in the build cycle to make sure that we have time to clean up the discrepant items and deliver a complete aircraft to ramp as we're doing today. I think some other critical things that happened during the year that supported the P-16 operations was a production reorganization in the fall of '93, which focused responsible leadership, particularly in the front line, in terms of getting that job done and completing that in time. That management leadership then created, literally hundreds of improvements to, the tooling, to process, to work sequence. I think the institution of the integrated process teams or product teams brought more focus into the job we had to do on the floor. There was a lot better support for on-time delivery of parts. We've had more consistency in our workforce over the last year than in prior years because we don't have the disruption that was created by the slowdown in commercial activity. But I think what we're seeing in '94 is the results of the last 2 years of concentration of focus on corrective action and improvement, both in the process and the physical configuration of the aircraft itself.
When you talk about flying the airplane away in the final days, we all want to make sure that the aircraft is ready when the crew shows. The crew shows. Lieutenant General Tenoso, the vice of AMC, will be with the flight crew, and before they get in and start engines, there's a small ceremony to mark the occasion, and keys are handed over ceremonially to the crew, although you'll find no place to put them in the aircraft. And then they climb on and do a normal pre-flight just like they would if they were going to fly another mission. In many ways, we're very lucky. We've got an airplane that people can fly on. And what that does in terms of making people enthused about their job and the program is incredible. It really is. It's priceless. There's almost no way to describe the look on someone's face when they've been working on a piece. Maybe they've been working on a process and they've never been closer than 5 miles from the runway. To see the look on their face the next week when they're describing that to their fellow employees about what it was like to be on the C-17.
An experience of a lifetime. All our hard work, efforts to make this the best airplane possible for these guys, it all just came together. It's just unbelievable.
It's very impressive. This is only the second time I've flown. The first time was on a commercial out here, and now this. So, you know, this is a special treat. It really is.
I like it. It's nice. The last time I flew in one of these type of aircraft, I wore a parachute and it was a web type seat. So no, I like this better.
When I first sat down, I was looking around and I can't believe how nice it really looks. Workmanship looks excellent. I can't see anything. I've been looking, especially areas that I work, and it looks really nice.
This is really great because when you work on an off-site, you don't see the aircraft. You never see it fly. And to get the opportunity to see it and be in it, it really lends a lot to your job, your appreciation of your job.
Takeoff is great. I can't wait for landing. But I was talking with the general a little bit, and he's really excited about it too.
Well, obviously, it's a great flying bird. It's very responsive. Now, I know that it was empty, but the responsiveness impressed me. I obviously like the heads-up display. I like being able to look at the instrumentation and keep my eyes outside the cockpit. What we really want to do is we really hope we designed a plane that made it easy to haul people and things, rapidly unload them, rapidly offload them, and it appears to be doing that. I think if we can continue our quality improvements, that it will speak for itself, and when a decision comes on whether to buy more than 40 or stop at 40, that it will kind of tell its own story. Our government only has so much money, and so what we have to be sure of is that we've spent it wisely and that our government is getting what it paid for. And as long as we can convince people that the C-17 is worth it, then it's not a cost issue anymore. Because certainly our nation needs the capability. It's whether the C-17 can deliver it in a quality manner, and I am very encouraged by what I've seen with P-16. So hopefully they'll keep rolling out like this one.